Barriers right now, probably really credit. Credit is probably my biggest one. And financial responsibility as far as paying down other things or other bills that come up, as far as being able to save money and having three, might as well say four kids on my own. It's kind of tough. Like, and I would like to, I think about getting a second job at times, but my kids are in sports and one's into drama clubs, so there's plays and there's after school practices and games, and my time just is not there. It's impossible to be a mom and work 2-3 jobs. It's just, it doesn't. I pay 50% of my income for housing a month. I don't bring home as much as I would like, and it's just impossible to pay down loans or credit cards or just a lot of extra money coming into my house to pay for a house financially. I believe my kids understand the money's not there. Like, we try very hard to make them understand like the value of money, and it doesn't really grow on trees as kids think. And it's hard sometimes because they go to their father's house and there's 2 parents in that household, and they go over there and they get the sneakers they want and the clothes they want, and they do more because he has a bigger family structure than I do. Even he has extended family who pitch in and help. When in my household there's myself, my mother, so it's kind of hard to make them distinguish between the 2 households. Like, over there you might have Jordans, over here you might have Converse. Like, I just can't afford to do the same thing. So sometimes it gets kind of, but I think they understand. Like, they told me the other day, well, Mom, next year for Christmas, why don't we just do this, this, and this? And you don't have to buy a lot because we still get 3 Christmases, because we go here and we have Christmas and we go there and we have Christmas. So I think they understand that, money's not always home. I find it hard raising them without the amount of money I would like to have. Just little things I would like to do with them. Like, there are days where we are home and I just want to take them out to the movies, or they want to go skating, or they want to go bowling, and I don't have money for that. Or they might be like, well, they want this food today, and I'm like, well, I can't go buy you this food because we have to make this last for this amount of time, and I have to make sure I have money until next payday, till this amount of time. So that includes, sometimes there's things they need, and I'm like, I don't always have the money I need to go get what they need right at that present moment. So that probably gives me, there's more I would like to do with them and let them experience that I just can't right now because money's not there. I notice my kids watch a lot of YouTube shows, and a lot of YouTube shows, they have these kids with these nice houses and these toys, and they give away money, and they give away, all these little things. So I notice my kids do complain a lot about what they want because they see other kids with it. So it's like, this is the new thing, this is the new style, this is what everybody has, this is what everybody wants. So it's like, I find myself being in situations where I have to explain to them that mommy does not have that amount of money to do that. And it's like, sometimes I feel bad. My son was playing a video game around Christmas time, and he wanted to talk to his friends on the game, so he needed a special headset to talk to them, and I'm like, I don't have it. And I ended up running to the store real quick, finding the one they had up at Dollar General just so he could have, because all his friends were on there talking, and he just was crying. I felt bad. And it's like, so sometimes it's very hard to make them understand, like, just don't have it. And I will find myself going to get it even though I don't have it, just because I don't want them to feel left out. I started in Magnolia Hall in 1998, I believe, 97, 98, working there, and I've been doing it ever since then, since high school. So yeah, I like helping people. I love the residents and getting, a lot of them. I've had a lot of residents who are just lonely, family doesn't come visit, so it's like you get to be a part of somebody else's family. You get to know different people. Like, a lot of their stories are very interesting once you get to actually know these people, and they become like your grandparents. So I love it. In my family, I think buying my own home would free up, I don't want to say money per se, because there's still going to be expenses with that. But the expenses are different when you're putting in money to to take care of something that you're going to own, that you have to take care of. I think there's more responsibility involved because this is now something that you own. You're building, even, you know, I might want to pay this off and one of my children can have this home, or this will be our family home. So, you know, when things go wrong now, I'm paying a landlord money. And sometimes the stuff doesn't get fixed, even though I'm paying you money. I still have all these issues that need to be fixed and are not being fixed. But I have to pay you this money because I need this home to live in. When if it were my home, I could fix it myself and I know what is being taken care of. I can do the things I need to do to add to my household. So yes, big difference. Kids in the same room. My son, who is now 8, who is probably 18 in his mind, likes his own space, and he's in there with 2 girls, and he torments them. They torment him, he torments them. So there's a lot of chaos with that. Sometimes my oldest daughter wants to be up, and I'm like, well, they have to go to bed because they've got school in the morning. Or if my grandson is there and they get up in the morning for school, now he's up, and his mom is like, no, he's supposed to be asleep. So in the same room, it's a lot of, you know, like they have different personalities and they're all different ages, and it just clashes when I hear mom 1,000 times a night for no reason. Growing up, I never considered it growing up in poverty because I felt like we always had everything that we needed. And now I look back and I'm like, I do know that my mother struggled a lot to make sure we had what we needed. So it was kind of like we were growing up in poverty. I just never noticed it and we were always happy. Everything was different. So, you know, it wasn't poverty to me, but it was growing up. I lived outside of Millington and we used to live in the town of Millington. So everybody kind of always grew up together. I mean, everybody. Like it was a little, I want to say everybody was like family. So it was never, if you were living in poverty, you never knew you were. And when I was younger, we lived in a house where, remember we had a cat that we would put outside and the cat would come back up through the wall because we had a hole in the wall. Like we might have birds flying, you know. We had no hot water, but it was never, you know, we were never just living in poverty to us. It was just, that was home.